Yo, this is Fragile here to teach you how to make a VCV voice bank in my way. Basically, the plug and play way, where you make it, immediately goes in, no need to auto, it will work pretty well. But if you made it auto, it's gonna sound amazing. So, anyways, if you don't know, I'm like the owner and voicer of Jesper. I have like few videos of Jesper, but like if you need to know, that's how it sounds. Anyways, what you're going to need, because I will give you absolutely no context to everything, is UTAU, oremo, and setparam. Those are the things I will be using this video. UTAU, and I'm talking like basic UTAU. I'm not using openUTAU. I've tried, but I kind of prefer regular UTAU. Oremo will be my recording device. You could use Audacity. I wouldn't recommend it though. And setparam is optional because I will be teaching you how to oto in UTAU and how to oto in setparam. Either one. All right, so let's get into it. Number one, open oremo. You're gonna start recording. It's gonna be very fast. So what you're gonna do is you're going to first off make a file. So right here you have file. You click set recording folder. You need to make a folder that can hold all of your voice samples. It's important. You either click here, or the fastest way in my opinion would just be like to click down here. Click down here. I will be actually giving you a small little link in the description eventually about like what I'm using here, because I'm using a very specific Reclist. It's Salem's Reclist, but it's a modified version. But I will be giving that. I will not, however, be giving you UTAU, oremo, setparam links. I'm hoping that you already have that, and if you don't, there are people who know how to do that for you. So I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna make a folder, okay? This folder is gonna be named after the UTAU. I don't know what I'm gonna name it. I'm just gonna name it like super cool UTAU. Like it does not matter. Okay, there. I now have a folder. The name of my UTAU, super cool UTAU. Just gonna click into it. Select the folder. Done. It's now all the voice files that we make right now, record, will now go into this thing. This is called your rec list, okay? This is the line that you're gonna be recording. Ka ka ki ka ku ka and ka. There's a reason for this later. And this is your rec list, basically the whole list of everything you're gonna record. You do not need to record everything in here to make your UTAU function. The problem is, if you want to play songs that are like BGM or more current day songs, they use like kind of like English words, so you might kind of do want to record all these extra bits. My like advice to you is, if you have heard the word in Japanese before, please record it. If you have scarcely ever heard this word in Japanese before and it sounds more like an English word, you don't need to record it. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna file. You already set your recording list. Now you set your voice list, aka rec list. It's in here. I have it. It's gonna be called Salem Recklist. It's gonna be this text file, okay, called extra efficient VCV 8 more. 8 mora. Think of mora like a word for syllables, like 8 syllables, okay? Some people have like short like 5 mora, where you be like 1 2 3 4 5. You record like that, like ka ka ki ku ka. Okay, whatever. But like the longer mora or the longer syllable chain you have, the faster the process goes. The downside of it is, you gotta be used to being able to keep your voice up for that long. Some people take a long time to record. I've done this over and over, so I'm gonna teach you the short way to do it. You click onto it, and then it should load this entire thing if it haven't already. Once that's done, you're gonna go into options. You're gonna change your recording styles. Please, for the love of God, do not pick this third option. When ours plays play, this will force you to record every single one of those files I just showed you all at once. Don't do that. My advice would be to pick this middle one, which means it will only it'll play in music, and then you only have to record like one line at a time. This one gets a little funny. This was like really fun for like CV per se, because you have to hold it, but sometimes it's not so efficient. If you want it to be in B, because we have music, we're gonna click this one. We're gonna select this one. When R is pressed, play music, okay? But where's the music? Good question. We're gonna look down here. We're gonna click on this. It should already be here. It's in like the thing, Salem's Recklist. You see this thing called BGM, background music, 8 beats, basically 120 beats per minute, which is basically how fast, or the tempo, or like how fast we're recording it. There's a whole bunch of pitches in here, thanks to them. Please choose a pitch that fits your voice. Do not try to sing something completely way past your vocal range unless you are able to do it for long and for a lot. I sing around A3. If you don't know, it's fine. You could try picking A3. A3 is like up there. If you need to go lower, there's more. Just go through one until you find one. I picked A3. Now it doesn't show anything at the start, but that's why we're going to go to click the button show, right? In show, you want to make sure this is checked, waveform, and you want to make sure F0 is checked. I'm not gonna explain why, but it'll show up later. Options, advanced settings. Don't care about any of this right now because we only want to care about F0. This is the F0 part, okay? This will show you your target zone. Basically, if you are terribly off pitch, this will help you. You want your target zone to match whatever music file you picked. I picked A3, so this should be A3. If you picked like B4, this should be B. Like you can change it, 4. And you click play to hear what it sounds like. Okay, you gotta reach that. It's gonna be in red. You're gonna click apply. Click OK. It's not showing now. We have the option checked, but it's not going to show now until you record. Your goal is to record this, right? So this is your line you're supposed to record, right? You switch through them. You're supposed to say ka, ka, ki, ka, ku, ka, and ka. Please do not record on the arrows for your sanity. This is nearly identical as a crime of drawing on the same layer and only realizing it later, and then having to redo everything. If you're an artist, you will know what I'm talking about. I would suggest you record on blank because this is for multi-pitches. I'm here to teach you mono-pitch. We do not touch this. And if you want a multi-pitch, this is not probably the way to go. Click the blank space. Leave it like that, okay? Make sure every recording is on blank space, not the arrows. Alright, starting off, you're going to click R. Remember, click R one time because that's how we put the options. One time, and then it'll play this tiny little tune, and then you start recording, right? I'll show you. Ga ga ki ga gu ga n ga. Simple, right? Alright, now let me explain everything. This is what I just read. If this is big, that means that I've got louder. If this is small, then it means that was my vocal. This is the line that we wanted to show, okay? This is the pitch. This is your goal. You want your vocals, which is this color right here, or whatever these dots are, to match this line as much as possible and as long as possible. Okay, try not to make them short. The longer, the better. The closer to the match, the better. Okay, we're not here to say ga, ga, ki. No, this is like singing. But I'm gonna give you more piece of advice. We don't want to sing like ka, ka, ki, ka. Please, please, please try. Drink some water. Do some humming vocal practice. If you get this right on the first try, it's gonna be so cool. You know? You don't wanna do that vibrato. You'll be like, oh, it's like singing. Yes, you record it like you're singing, but it's not like it's like flatline singing, okay? Like the most monotone singer, like professional monotone singer out here. You wanna be like ka ka? No, that's probably not gonna end well. You wanna be like ka ka ki ka. Okay, you don't wanna be like ka ka. Try not to leave the spaces in between the letters. That will actually be some other vocal. That will be this thing called glottal stops. Glottal stops will be where you could do things like ka ka ki ka ku ke ka. But for the regular ones like this, that don't have glottal stop dots, you want to be like ka ka ki ka ku ka n ka, right? No change in pitch. Fantastic. So once you do that, and you're happy with this, right? It's fine. You do the next one. If you want to rehear it again, you click space. Ga ga ki ga ku ga n ga. Not only do you want to keep the pitch steady, and for a long time, you want to keep your tone steady because you don't want to start with like a chest voice like ka, and then like somehow down the recording line you end up with ka ka ki ka. No, it's gonna sound really weird. It's really gonna be weird because your character be like, why does it sound like that? You don't notice it, but when you're recording for a long time, it does it. Let's do the next one. Click R to record. Remember, keep it steady, keep it on pitch, keep it the right tone. Hear the music and go. Ki ki ku ki ke ki n ki. Can you hear it? Ki ki ku ki ke ki n ki. Okay, so there's a tiny problem with this is because like if you know Japanese, there should be like no kind of H sound. There should be no ki. It should be like ki. It's like that purely the K sound. Very important to notice that like sometimes you gotta listen to people speaking the language to know. So we could record this. How do we record this? Click R again. Ki ki ku ki ke ki n ki. And you could do this as many times as you want. If it means to get close. And look, if it's a little off, it doesn't really matter as long as you pretty much got the gist of it, right? But like, that's the fun of it. You're gonna do this for like every single one that you can see. You don't need to do that. These are breathing, okay? These weird symbols are for like the breathing things, and all of these weird symbols are breathing. If I remember right, one is like iki, one is breathe in, one is breathe out, one is just random breathing. Your goal is to try to get everything that you believe can and will be used in a JP song. My advice to you on that one is if you've heard of the syllable or like the letter being used before in a JP, like in Japanese at all, record it. If you've never heard the syllable being used in like Japanese at all, or like it's like an Japanese English word, you don't have to record it. If you're trying to do Michi M songs, which she does be doing this, um, please record the extra syllables. They actually matter, like, especially the English ones and the katakana ones. They will play a big part into that. Like, Viva Happy, you know, that matters. Because people make USDs for that. Anyways, this is done. I'll show you that we can now officially go to otoing, but I'll show you one, how to oto in setparam, and then two, how to oto in UTAU. Technically, it doesn't need to be oto. You do, however, need to make the oto files because it will not run otherwise. So what you want to do is you're going to open setparam. If I can type. My gosh. Open setparam. It's going to ask for a folder. You're going to go into find the folder you just made, your voicebank folder, wherever it is. Like right here, super cool UTAU, done. It's empty because you don't have an otoing for it yet. That's oto.ini is like the file that you need to make. And you give two choices, load, don't load, otoing. If you already were otoing something, you want to click load. If you've never otoed before, and this is a completely new bank that we made from scratch, which is the case we're doing right now, we're going to do this. Automatically estimate voice configuration. Click. And it shows you here, what kind of voice bank? You got VCV, auto estimation. We are dealing with VCV. Shows a lot of things. This is important. You need to pay attention to this. So we were recording at a BGM, if you remember, at 120 beats per minute. Please put this here. Please make sure this is MSEC. This is 1000. Like everything here, you see. Okay, take a moment. Screenshot this window. Everything here is effectively like detailed by me so that it would work. Pretty much like plug and play. Overlap, pre-utterance, constant, right blank. Pick this one. Don't bother checking this one. It's probably not gonna work. But like make sure these numbers are correct. This button is correct. Okay, these numbers are correct. And then you can ignore everything else because we're making monopinch, so we don't worry about that. And then we click generate params. Ta-da! Now we have let me just shove everything down. Oh my god. Now we have this thing. Two things should pop up. The entire oto thing and like the whole list. Remember, I only recorded 2 lines, so this is how many recordings I got, which is about like 16. There's 8 syllables-ish per line, or 8 more per line, so there's about 16 in total because I only recorded 2. If you could see, if you could just click through them, they seem like if you already know oto, these should be like fairly otoed already. I'm not joking. They're very close, but the whole thing about otoing is not a matter of whether you're right or wrong, but whether like every single one of them is consistent. Because as long as they're all consistent, but they're still wrong, it'll still work. So I'll show you. Once this is done, we're just gonna save voice configurations right now. Okay, save. We're gonna open a random USD because I want to show you how like if you do this correctly, it should be able to work. Random USD. I wrote this. Okay. Ka ke ki ku keko. This is the focal right now. Yippee! And then your projects, open projects. You're gonna change it to your voice bank that you just made, wherever that is. Please remember where you put it. Okay. Super cool UTAU. There you is. Put you in there. You're gonna pick a Wavtool. I recommend Wavtool 64 or Wavtool for VCV. What resampler am I using? I'm using Doppler 009. I think it's like an amazing resampler. I am not very fond of free tips is cool though. Because like Doppler is like very fast too. It's like the better version of the comment. Please don't use a regular resampler. Please use Doppler if you want to use that regular resampler. Once you're done, okay. And then If you look in tools and voice banks, you'll see all these things that you just plugged in, right? Now, if you look over here, there's this thing called frequency. Frequency is important. It kind of tells your thing how to play. Usually there should be circles here, but there are currently no circles here. We're gonna fix that. You could either click initialize frequency, and then it creates the circle for it, or you play a song, especially if you have the peddler, it'll just make it for you. You play a song. Oops, still no peddler. Click. You need to change this. Oh, this is currently in CV if you haven't noticed. Take the CV tools, plugins, go to the CV to VCV format. It'll show you what you currently have, and it'll show you what's it gonna end up like. This will change it. Perfect. Let me fix this one. Now you have this. Before you ever do this for any USD, please, for the love of yourself and your UTAU, clear the pre-utterance overlaps, clear the SDP. Don't even care about anything else really. Just clear everything if you wanted to. You don't have to worry about these two. Click OK. Fix the crossfading by clicking reset, P2P3, and then ACP3. And then once you're done, you can play it. It'll do like this. See? These two I have not recorded yet, so they don't exist. But for all you see here, that is the sound of a completely unoto'd VCV bank that we just made. It sounds pretty on spot despite not having any oto. We could fix that right now. Like here, I'll fix this one to we could change this to key, I guess. If you never made a UST, don't bother with this. It's kind of Ramaji, UST, convert, done. See, you hear that ukaaki? That is what happens when you do not clear this part right here. Clear, clear, done. Crossfade it. Try. We fixed it. Now I'll show you how to oto, okay? So effectively, remember when I said that, like, okay, don't just discard that. In setparam, you just made the otoing file. This is how we do in a setparam. So basically, you go through the things. Oh, you should actually close this right now. I'll just put it there for fun. Your goal in otoing right here is you need to be looking for the pre-utterance. This is the #1 priority, okay? The position of the pre-utterance, in my opinion. There is a gimmick where you can grab this like left one and go all around and it moves everything. But if you can avoid it, never ever touch the overlap. Do not touch the overlap. The overlap, pre-utterance, and consonant should always stay at these numbers as long as they can, okay? You can change the left blank, and you can change like the left blank, and you can change the right blank. Please try not to touch the overlap pre-utterance consonant. If you absolutely have to, you can touch the pre-utterance, but overlap is like, no, don't touch that. It messes up a lot of things. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you move this around, and you want to make sure the pre-utterance is in a very particular pace. So this is the start. We have the letter call right here. You see, ka, ka. This is ka. Like if you were like super zoomed in, like perhaps you couldn't see it. But like I like to zoom out a bit, you know, just to be able to see it. So ka, 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 ki, ka, ki, and so on and so forth. Pre-utterance should, if you know the word for ka, if you spell it, it's like K-A, right? My advice, pre-utterance should go between those two. It should go between the K sound and the A sound. So this is if you don't know this weird looking part right here, like this is all melded together, but this is just seemingly different from every section, right? This is the actual K sound, like that plosive k. So yeah, this is the K sound. Your pre-utterance, and though like I'm not gonna be like the best for this, but you should go in between here. It should divide the K sound and the ah sound. K, ah, see? Like that. And this is done. So now you already have the first one. Overlap for the first one, you're gonna worry. This one though, the right blank, my suggestion to you is you can move the right blank, okay? So sometimes it's usually gonna be like inside if you did it right. It's gonna be like inside and like embedded within the entire sample, the sounded sample. Sometimes it's outside. If it's outside, just move it in. Like it could be on the edge of the sample if you have to. But like honestly, if it's already within the sample, it's fine. If it's outside sample, just move it onto the sample. Done. Next one. You could like click here, or you could just like scroll. It doesn't matter. So here, the next one, you have akka. Kind of like the word for red, akka. Now, if you remember our goal is to be looking at the pre-utterance. We grab this side to move everything, but we need to somehow move it so that the pre-utterance is like between the consonant sound, the k sound, and then the vowel sound, the This is VCV. V, k, C, and then like V. Vowel here, vowel, the consonant k sound, and then another It's almost like spelling it out. So remember, we just want to put the pre-utterance between that. It doesn't matter. Jet it in if you must. There. It's done. The goal here, though, this is done. You need to check two more things. You need to check the position of the overlap and the position of the right blank. Right blank, if it's already jet in, you generally don't need to worry about this. But the overlap kind of matters, because if it's like, the overlap is kind of like the right blank, where if it's like within vowels, is fine. If the overlap was like over like here, no good. If the overlap was like at the very end, also no good. You want it in like a stable area. That's what they call it. An area where it's like definitely can hear that sound. So the overlap should be in like the vowel of the previous syllable. It's basically this. The overlap should be like somewhere jutted into this sound. Okay, next one. Aki. Remember? Cold. Look for the pre-utterance. This is the K sound. It looks very distinct. Some are easier than others. K's are very easy. This is great for practice. You put the pre-utterance between there. You check to make sure the right blank is in the sound. You check to make the overlap is also within the sound. Everything is perfect. Next one. Move. Pre-utterance. This is the K sound. See, it looks a little different. Everything else, all these like full lines, that's the vowel sound. You put the pre-utterance between there, right at the start of the vowel, okay? And make sure that the right blank is like already like onto this one. The overlap is onto this one. This one's also done. And you keep going over and over and over. But technically, if you did it right, it's mostly like pretty much done. Like, see this one? Sometimes all you need to fix is just moving it over a little. Like, you just take this, move over a little. Done. VCV. Simple. This is the an sound. Ends are kind of interesting because like you don't really know where they start. I'm not gonna lie. It does not really matter. You just kind of start whatever. Just make sure that this does not fly into this, okay? And if you remember what I said, the R or the right blank should be like within the note. Just move this over to where you still see like some color, and then you're done with that one. And the last one over here, nka. This is the n, K sound, the a sound. Move the thing so the pre-utterance is between the K sound and the a sound. Everything else checks out. Done. And you keep going and going and going and going until you think. Comments are like where you could like write whatever. Like I like to write 3 dashes to know that I finished it. Like I do it like that, and I'm like, okay, when I'm like otoing, I'm like, oh, I already finished that, so I'll just start at a place where like I haven't done it yet, right? Then click File, you save, please save. It's okay to overwrite it. It is fine. And then you could like close down everything. And now you could test it into a thing again. And let me show you, like, if you were to do it correctly. Here's the thing that I showed you before. Remember the ka ka ki ka? It should sound ever so slightly better. Make sure that you have your utal. Remember? Ka ka ki ku ka ki. Perfection. That, my friends, is how you make a VCV bank the quick and easy way. You're gonna have amazing VCV banks regardless. And to show you what, like, oh, I need to show you how to, like, otoing in UTAU. Actually, yeah, let me just do that right now. Which one did we not do? Kikiku. Which one did we not do? We didn't do key? Okay, I'll show you. Alright, so if you don't see it on here, it doesn't have to be in here. You click tools, voicebank settings, look at all the things. We officially just did this, all these in setparam. Okay, that's why some of these numbers are shifted. Now we could do an UTAU by like the same idea. You go into it, you right click it, you will see this thing called edit parameters with editor. Okay, this is basically your setparam button. You click on it and it shows the setparam thingy. It's not as pretty as the setparam thingy, but it works. As you can see here, this is key. If you don't know what this is, double click this note and it'll actually play the sound for you. Key. I sound like a bee. Anyways, if you move this one right, remember grab this one, you're looking for the pre-utterance. The pre-utterance needs to be between the K sound. You kind of hard to see here, but this, like this weird off thing is a K sound, and this is the start of the syllable right here. So just shove it over. It's good enough. Don't touch anything else. Make sure that the right blank is on the consonant, and then G. Great. Then move on, and then you to the next one, right? Look at this thing. Grab the left blank, move it so that the pre-utterance is between the K sound and the vowel, basically the consonant and the vowel sounds. Make sure the overlap, you see how the overlap is getting really close there? That's no good. So you want the overlap to be a little more stable. Now you wonder, wait a minute, if I move the overlap here, what happens to pre-utterance? See, you can't touch the overlap. I would tell you never to touch the overlap, but you can touch the pre-utterance. You can mess with the red line. So if you move it over, overlap is steady. Now you take the pre-utterance and you just move it over just a bit. Okay? And one more thing. You see here, the right blink is out in the open. Oh my god, why would they do that? You need to move it onto it. There we go. Even just a little bit, you know? Heck, you could even move in the center if you really wanted to, but like, why would you? You move it here, and then you can play. Iki, iki. This is the sound right here. Iki, iki. Done. And once it's done, you click OK. And then you officially otoed an UTAU. Hooray. Now you know how to do everything. Anyways, thanks for watching, and good luck!